My name is Daniel. I want to tell you about my old life. It was very easy. I lived in a big house in the city. My father had a lot of money. Because of that, I did not work. I did not study. I did not think about the future. Every morning, I woke up late. I did not use an alarm. Sometimes I woke up at 9 o'clock. Sometimes I woke up at 10. I stayed in bed for a long time. My breakfast was ready. I ate pancakes and drank juice. Sometimes I had breakfast in bed. After that, I watched TV. I used my phone. I played games. I looked at photos and videos. I laughed, but I did not feel happy inside. I was not sad, but I was not proud either. My life was full of free time. I did what I wanted. In the afternoon, I met my friends. We wore expensive clothes. We went to cafes. We took pictures. We ate good food. We drank coffee and laughed. We talked about fun things, but we never talked about important things. I never worked. I never helped at home. I never cooked. I never cleaned my room. I never thought about money. If I wanted something, I asked my father. And he gave it to me. New shoes? Yes. A new phone? Yes. A trip to another country, of course. I did not think about how my father earned money. I just enjoyed it. Sometimes, my friend said, "Daniel, you should think about your future." But I laughed. I said, "Why? My father is rich. I do not need to worry. I thought life would always be like this. I thought nothing would change." I was wrong. At that time, I felt good, but something was missing. I had everything, but I still felt bored. I did not understand why. I did not feel excited about anything. My days were all the same: sleep late, eat, watch TV, go out, spend money, sleep again. Then one day, my father came into my room. He did not smile. He looked serious. He said, "Daniel, we need to talk." I sat up in bed and said, "Yes, Dad." But he still looked serious. I started to feel a little nervous. He said, "You're not a child anymore. You must think about your future." I smiled and said, "But Dad, I have everything. I don't need to work." He looked at me and shook his head. He said, "No, Daniel, you have everything because I work hard. But life can change. One day, I may not be here." I didn't know what to say. I felt confused. I said, "Don't worry, Dad, nothing will change." But he didn't smile. He just looked at me and said, "We will see." That night, I could not sleep well. I turned off the lights, but I kept thinking. His words stayed in my head. One day, I may not be here. What did he mean? What would happen to me? I'd never asked these questions before. In the morning, my father came again, but this time, he did not let me stay in bed. He opened the curtains and said, "Get up, get dressed. You're coming with me?" I was surprised. Where were we going? Why now? I got up slowly. I was not happy. I did not like waking up early. I did not like change. But something told me this was important. I got dressed and followed him. That day was the start of something new. My easy life was going to change. I did not know it yet, but my routine, my thoughts, and my future were all about to become very different. And it all started with one serious talk from my father. The next morning, my father woke me up very early. It was still dark outside. I looked at the clock. It was 6:30 in the morning. I felt tired and confused. My father opened the curtains. He said, "Get dressed. You are coming with me?" I got up slowly. I did not know where we were going. I put on some clothes. We went downstairs and left the house. My father was quiet. He did not say anything during the drive. We drove through the city. At first, everything looked normal. But then we turned into a different part of the city. It was not clean. The streets were old. The buildings were small. I saw people walking fast. Some people were cleaning the streets. Others were selling food on the sidewalk. We stopped near a man with a cart. He was selling fruit. He looked tired, but he kept working. My father pointed at him and said, "Look at that man. He wakes up before the sun. He works all day. He doesn't rest. He doesn't complain. He works to feed his family." I looked at the man. I felt something in my chest. I didn't know this life. I never thought about people like him before. Then we walked to a small shop. Inside, I saw an old woman. She was sewing clothes. Her hands were slow, but she didn't stop. Her face looked tired, but she kept working. She has been working here for 40 years, my father said. She doesn't have much money. But she works every day. She works with pride. I didn't say anything. I just watched her. I felt quiet. I felt small. After that, we drove again. This time, we went to my father's office. It was a big building. Many people were walking in and out. Inside, it was busy. Phones were ringing. People were talking and moving fast. Some were writing reports. Others were making calls. Everyone looked serious. My father took me to his office. He looked at me and asked, "Do you know what I do here?" I said, "You work. You sit at your desk." He smiled a little. "Yes, I work. But I do more than that. I make big decisions. I solve problems. I take care of this company. I do all of this for you." Then he gave me a small notebook. "Tomorrow, you will start working here," he said. I was surprised. I laughed and said, "Me? Work? Yes," he said. "It is time for you to learn." The next morning, I woke up early again. My father was waiting for me downstairs. He gave me a small bag. "This is your lunch," he said. "Can I eat at a restaurant?" I asked. "No," he said. "Workers bring their own lunch, and today, you are a worker." We went to the office, but my father did not take me to his big room. He took me to a small room with many desks. People were working on computers. Nobody looked at me. Everyone was busy. A man with glasses walked over to us. "This is Mr. William," my father said. "You will work under him." Mr. William looked serious. He said, "Come with me." I followed him. He walked fast. He took me to a desk. He gave me a big pile of papers. "You will check these papers," he said. "Look at the numbers, find mistakes, mark them, work fast." I sat down and looked at the papers. There were so many numbers. At first, it seemed easy. But after 1 hour, my head started to hurt. After 2 hours, my back felt sore. My eyes were tired. I wanted to stop. But I looked around. Nobody was resting. Everyone was working. Nobody was talking or using their phone. This was not like my old life. This was different. This was real work. At lunchtime, I opened my lunch bag. It had simple food. Rice, vegetables, and a boiled egg. No juice, no snacks. I ate quietly. I watched the other workers. They ate fast. Then, they went back to work. There were no long breaks. No fun stories, just work. I missed my old life. I missed my soft bed and slow mornings. But I also felt something new. I felt respect. These people worked hard, every day. In the afternoon, Mr. William checked my papers. He found mistakes. "Do it again," he said. I wanted to say something. I wanted to complain. But I didn't. I just nodded and started again. At the end of the day, I was very tired. My back hurt. My head hurt. My hands were sore. But I felt something inside me. It was not pain. It was something else. I had tried. I had worked. And I felt proud. When I walked out of the office, my father was waiting outside. He looked at me. He did not ask how my day was. He just smiled. And for the first time, I smiled back, not because life was easy, but because I had done something real. After my first day of work, everything in my life began to change. I did not sleep late anymore. I started to wake up early every day. My alarm rang at 6:30 in the morning. I got up, washed my face, and got dressed. I packed a small lunch and walked to the bus stop. No more long mornings in bed. No more slow breakfasts. My life had a new routine. When I arrived at the office, I saw Mr. William waiting. He did not smile. He said, "You were slow yesterday. Today, work faster." I did not answer. I just went to my desk and began to work. There was a big pile of papers again. I looked at the numbers. I checked them one by one. My back still hurt. My eyes still felt tired. But I did not stop. At noon, I finished my first set of papers. Mr. William checked them. He looked at me and said, "Better, just one word." But it felt good. It felt better than buying a new phone. It felt better than spending money on clothes or food. I felt proud of my work. During lunch, I sat with the other workers. I listened to their stories. Some talked about their families. Some talked about their problems. They laughed and ate quickly. Then they went back to work. I did the same. I felt like I was one of them now. I was not special. I was not rich. I was just another person working hard. The afternoon was not easy. Mr. William gave me more papers. He said, "Let's see if you can handle this." I looked at the numbers. I felt tired again. But I wanted to prove something. I wanted to show I could do it. I stayed focused. I checked every number. I marked the mistakes. I worked until the end of the day. When Mr. Williams saw my work, he said, "Not bad, just 2 words." But they meant a lot to me. I nodded and left the office. My father was waiting outside. He asked, "Tired?" I said, "Yes." He smiled and said, "Good." Days passed, then weeks, then months. I worked every day. At first, it was hard. My body hurt. My hands were tired. But I got better. I made fewer mistakes. I worked faster. Mr. Williams still did not smile much, but he stopped complaining. Sometimes, he even said, "Good job." Those 2 words felt better than any gift I ever received. I started to understand money. Before, I only spent money. Now, I saw how hard it was to earn. I watched my father at work. I saw him make big decisions. I saw him talk to people. I saw him solve problems. I began to respect him more. Before, I only saw him as a man with money. Now, I saw a man who built something with his own hands. One evening, my father called me to his office. He looked at me for a long time. Then he said, "You have changed." I looked at him. I did not know what to say. He continued, "At first, you were lazy. You didn't care about work, but now you understand." I nodded. He was right. I was not the same person anymore. Then he took out a small key and gave it to me. "This is your office," he said. I was shocked. "My office?" I asked. He nodded. "You are ready for more responsibility. You have worked hard. Now it is time to take the next step." I held the key in my hand. It was small, but it felt heavy. It was not just a key. It was trust. The next day, I moved to my new office. It was small, but it was mine. I had my own desk, my own chair, my own work. I was no longer just a worker. I was learning how to lead. It was not easy. I made mistakes. I had bad days, but I did not give up. I kept working. I kept learning. I wanted to be like my father. I wanted to build something real. Now, I wake up early every day. I go to work. I help others. I lead a team. I solve problems. I work with focus. I speak with respect. I care about my job. I look back at my old life and I smile. I thought life was easy. I thought money was simple. But I was wrong. Life is not about comfort. Life is about growth. Life is about effort. Life is about doing something real with your own hands and your own heart. My father taught me that. Now, I am ready for the future. Not because I have money, but because I have learned how to earn it. And that is something I will never forget.